Oh, okay, we've seen this, but it's a good video. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know why, but this is the crossplay announcement. If you haven't seen this already, then it's something. Hold on, I'll be right back 1 second. There you go, guys.
And welcome everyone to the Bach Ops update show here for Realm Royale. My name is Gormizer. You might know me as William Newberry. Either way, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to have some interesting things, as you just saw with that video. PlayStation 4 crossplay is going to be coming, as well as the Bach Ops Battle Pass, a third ability slot, and, well, a Fungal Jungle rework. And to help me go through all of this, I have some friends with me. You can see right next to me already, Alex. And then we have Jake and Josh here as well to be able to kind of come through. Almost said Drake and Josh, but still works out. And, well, Josh, you're going to be the one we come to first here because PlayStation 4 crossplay is coming.
Yeah, as you just saw from that awesome trailer, I was featured in that trailer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. You know,
the main star even, actually. Like center screen almost all the time.
We do have PlayStation crossplay coming. We couldn't be more excited about that, to have everyone be able to play with their friends regardless of which platform they're on. Something to note about this, we don't have cross progression or cross commerce just yet, so your achievement progress, character progress, and skins won't carry over. That's something we're in talks with Sony about, so if we have more...
They couldn't have pretty hair on the show because there would be too much majestic hair. Like with Jay Nash and Alex, it would be too much, so...
Come in and fill lobbies and actually very conveniently not even being able to come through, but like, hey, I can now play with all of my buddies coming through. But on top of that, and Jake, I guess you can kind of dive into this, it's coming with input-based matchmaking as well. So yeah, keyboard and mouse will stay locked away, controller will stay locked away.
Yeah, we definitely have been listening to the community and trying to figure out like what the best way to do this would be to make sure that like if you're playing on a controller, you don't get like completely overwhelmed by someone on a keyboard and mouse that like might have a bit more control over than you have with the
There you go, YouTube comments. You can stop complaining. I don't know. I don't want to crossplay with PC. The PC players are gonna own me. Just turn off crossplay. Stop complaining about it. God.
But there's also like just the basic like match with anyone mode, but you are if you are in a party with someone,
and beat me in Thor.
Like if you're in a party
with Scrubs,
if you're in a controller and you're in a party with someone on a keyboard and mouse, you're gonna get like sent to the all input matchmaking lobby.
Okay, so no matter what, you can play with everyone. You can play with people who are just there. But if you happen to be, you're on your Xbox, you're playing with your friend who's on their PC, you're getting dropped in with everyone, no matter what. So
and you can find those options in the gameplay options menu. It's called input-based matchmaking preference, and you can set it to any type or same type.
Right.
And that'll indicate which players you want to play with when you're queuing into crossplay.
It's good stuff. No matter what, you're going to be able to roll into the realm and well, still find your kills no matter what, and no matter which you prefer. But that's kind of the big upfront news with that video. It's kind of important, I think, coming in for everyone playing. But then the one right behind it is, well, the title of the show, the Bach Ops Battle Pass that's going to be coming in. And, this is the 5th Battle Pass here for Realm Royale. And I have only seen a few of these skins, but I love every single one of them. And it's 50 levels of unlockable content that you can get. It has mounts, it has chickens, it has skins for all of the classes. It's everything you would want.
Yeah, exactly. And we got some nice cameo in there.
Oh, yeah, we'll see it, maybe. Or some people understand what it is when they hear it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
They'll just know the voice, maybe.
Maybe.
A little bit of behind the scenes. But one of the first things, as
who
you
could they be referencing?
You actually will unlock, I believe immediately, the Technician Hunter skin. That is going to be available. I think we have a little bit to look at there. First off,
this is the key art.
Look at that chicken.
Look at this chicken nipples, chat.
Robo Arachnid mount. Wow. There.
So here we go. Starting off, the Technician is the skin that you'll get when you first unlock the premium track to the Battle Pass. It is a hunter skin. It's pretty cool. Personally, orange is my favorite color. So
and time for fall as well, right? Like
exactly.
Right there.
Pumpkin spice written all over that.
Oh, jeez.
That's not what was going through my mind. But I do like the skin. Pumpkin spice, either way you want to slice it. It looks incredible.
The microphone's got louder.
Yes. Again, just from top to bottom, a lot of that going through. And that is the Technician Hunter available at level 1 in the premium track, as you had said. So once you get your battle pass, you can get your skin there. And with that, that's your hunter skin at the very beginning. And we had mentioned chickens, we had mentioned mounts. We're going to kind of circle back to one of those and look at the Infiltrator Assassin. That will be the next one up on the list. And I mean, being able to come through, again, every single one of these, you can probably see it in the key art as you see one. And he was the one who was kind of sitting up on the top of what might be.
This is probably the best skin from the next Battle Pass, I think. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion, but it does look pretty cool.
Yeah. He's got blades on his little, whatever these are called. His bracers. He's got bracer blades on the forearms. I wouldn't want to meet him in the cyberpunk future that we're all heading towards.
Seems like a nice guy.
You think so?
This guy's bringing 3 knives to a fight. He's got 2 on his.
Unfortunately, 2 of those are unusable.
It's like a knife.
Oh, well.
They're aesthetic. They're frightening. He doesn't actually need to use them. The first knife, the one in his hand, that's his using knife.
Should have given him bonus melee damage.
We should.
Both of them.
Don't give all the secrets away. No, that is a really cool skin.
Pay
It's
to
just
win.
sleek. You're just sitting out there. You look dangerous, and that's kind of what people want to do in the realm. You want to look deadly. And I think he does.
I mean, I could imagine at any point, especially on the mount that we have later to look at, that barreling down at me would be frightening. What might make it a little, I don't know, maybe more or less intimidating is actually the chicken that will come with him, the Rambach chicken.
Here we go.
Gonna have to throw it out there. Easily my favorite name of anything in this, which is really hard to beat because there's at least 5, again, that I just love. But
We have to pay attention to the sound here, chat.
Look at that.
Look at him. Look at that little guy. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's just as scary if it's running at you. Maybe for different reasons.
Right.
But, I mean, chicken, some killer guns on his arms, and a knife.
Oh, and he's got
those anime eyes.
Oh, he has the big anime. Nice, beautiful eyebrows.
Muscles and anime.
Jump around with him.
His legs.
Wow, that voice sounds familiar.
It does.
I mean,
I wonder who, maybe in the realm community that I've seen flex like this
someone who would work out,
and make a lot of noises like that very often.
Someone who came to visit the studio recently, maybe.
Could have maybe even had been in the last update show.
Possibly. Oddly enough, maybe.
I don't know who they're referencing. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
I think his knife is bigger than the assassins we just saw. So.
Obnoxiously big bullets, obnoxiously big knife. Doesn't use either of them. Does not care for them.
Headbutts.
When you have the strength this guy does, doesn't skip neck day at the gym.
And you can tell he hasn't been skipping on those glutes either,
This is, although, the ultimate leg day joke, just waiting to happen, right?
That's true.
It is.
Like, from the waist up, this guy is just all muscle, and then
His legs out very small.
That's true. But I would say he's cute, but I might get in trouble, You might find me later and...
This is a perfect fit for, yes, the person we have been hinting at. This is the voice of none other than Thor, the community streamer for Realm Royale, who also
That's
has
you,
chicken
Thor?
legs.
Whoa.
This is very similar
Oh, jeez.
to him. This is almost a portrait.
I can anticipate, pictures later where he's like, see, guys, I don't have chicken legs.
Oh, he will.
It's gonna happen. Either way,
That's a great chicken skin.
just being able to voice it. Yeah, this is fantastic. Again, I'm not sure what's going to be more frightening. Like, if you down someone, you're finally happy about it, but then this chicken starts running at you to attack you, that person has no fear anymore, not in their heart. So it's a fantastic chicken skin.
We need a chicken
That
game
is only
mode.
one of a few that we have coming forward. I don't know if we want to kind of jump forward. We have a mount that is going to be coming with this one, the Fido mount, which Fido, a very popular,
Yes.
maybe dog name that you could throw out there. So
Maybe,
a dog-esque potential skin, but futuristic at that.
Yeah. I think that, look at that. There it is. It's got jet boosters. And it's got that visor, too. It's seeing
Your
something.
dog doesn't have jet boosters. My dog does.
Yeah, that's a really cool skin, and it fits with the theme. So you have you have the assassin on top, and it just looks like you're ready to dive through the matrix, through the code, right? And you're just going to start hacking immediately.
That is a cyborg
wow.
bounty hunter ready to go.
Yes, very much.
There's effects when it does its growl, too, coming out of its
wow.
mouth. That's pretty cool.
It's got it's very nice. It's kind of 80s.
Nice
It's got
touch.
the
It's an
little
engineer mount?
triangles and squares. It's very nice. Yeah, it's
I
just
guess
this
I can
whole
see
theme,
that.
people are going to be you want to look into the past future, right? This is not like a super futuristic. It kind of has a little nostalgic view to it, especially with the Rambo chicken and all that.
We do
But
have a
this
lot
is
of
just
robot
really
skins in the
cool-
game. It's true.
I'll
There is a lot
probably
of
rock the
robot.
skin with some of these on this mount. It just looks great, I think.
And just the faceplate for it, the teeth. It's a menacing looking mount, even though I know the mount itself isn't going to be what's attacking me. It's a good one to be able to have come through.
Yeah, it does use the
fits
wolf
very,
model
very
rig
well with
for
the
sure.
skins as well. And I mean, there's a few that are going to match this one incredibly well. But after the
I like
Fido mount,
the player's name,
after
by the
we
way.
have that one showing off with all
know
of
so,
its
chat.
beautiful,
Have you
beautiful
seen this?
effects. There is, well, another chicken that is coming through. So you get Rambok earlier, and now we get to come through with the Sneak Beak chicken, which, again, I haven't seen it, but I love the name, so I can guarantee I'm going to love the skin as well. This is going to be, one of your rewards as you go through the Battle Pass once again. After you buy it, you will be able to unlock the Sneak Beak chicken.
I think you'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, kind of, I guess, the concept for this one. Where did it come from?
This one's more in line with the infiltrator assassin.
The
In that this
infiltrator.
is like an undercover chicken, right?
Yeah.
Like Rambo's coming at you. This guy's sneaking around, right?
So this is, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, very much.
He's got his little walkie-talkie.
Yeah, he's, he's...
Voice is kind of muffled because he's got his mask
Exactly.
on.
So this is, you're going to be hanging from the ceiling as the guards walk underneath you or the other players, and you're going to drop down.
He has
This
the
is-
spray that reveals
this is
the
a cute
red
chicken.
lasers around the
Exactly.
safe that if he's
Exactly.
trying to break into. I don't know if he's a thief, but he could kind of maybe like his night job.
Exactly.
Yeah, get
And he's got the
around it.
walkie-talkie in case things go south, right? You gotta get out. It's gonna get airlifted.
The muffled noises he
What do you mean this looks like Baggins? What?
Yeah, just everything about this pack.
What
is
if I
just-
ever
it's
look
really
like
tight.
this?
Everything kind of flows together. It makes sense. It's all kind of within the realm of this Bach Ops, right? It's like different types of military or kind of warfare.
I'm just happy because one of the things I've always loved about Realm is the different chickens, and like finally being able to sit here for the patch notes and watch the reveal is just it just makes me very, very excited because I love these skins and I love what they do.
Yeah, the Rambo chicken skin, it's gonna be hard to top that. I mean,
The small
it's true.
details that make the skin.
They've kind of set the bar pretty high with that, so.
And we don't get to
running
see them
around.
here on the patch note show, but a lot of these will have the custom animations also when they sadly die, and that we don't get to show those, and those you have to kind of look for in game, but they're a lot of fun.
Those are always fun. Like the Cluckomorph, like a
What do you
little UFO
mean,
comes and picks
Anderson?
him up.
The screaming weenie.
Screaming weenie.
But either way, that is the Sneak Beak chicken you'll be able to unlock. And that, I mean, already if you're not willing to buy this, that's only about half of what I have written down.
Screaming Weenie is a majestic
that
chicken.
is going to kind of maybe make the cut, whereas next is the one-man army warrior skin. So if you're a warrior fan, you're going to be able to kind of come in, taking it maybe a little less robot-y, as you saw with the assassin earlier, and more in line maybe with the hunter, but a face mask that he's got on there as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's like
this
a mercenary.
This guy's a mercenary. Yeah, he's not.
So you guys like this skin more than the ninja one? The assassin one?
transported to the realm.
He's the hired, hired help
he's
that
hired
comes
help.
through.
He's hunting down the player who's at the top. He's trying to get that number one because it's
That's
just
your
that
favorite?
mask. You don't want to know who he is because if you see
like
his
him more?
face, well, you know what happens. That's
Sometimes
he
He
waves
looks
at
so
you.
friendly when he
Sometimes even if
waves.
you
No.
don't see his face,
That's true.
going to be what happens to you. So I don't think you're.
Oh, there we
There you
go.
go. Okay.
Yeah, workout. We need that mercenary to be strong, ready for some real action. But like all the details, I mean, he looks like he could survive.
I
in
guess
the
they're not
realm
doing the
for
voice
days,
lines?
Weeks. He's got so many pockets, and that's what
Yeah.
you need to survive. Pockets.
A lot of pockets, holds a lot of stuff, but not only that. I mean, this is the kind of guy that even though I can't think of a single plant that might have berries or anything edible, he's gonna find one somehow
Right.
in the realm.
He could be a Yeah, you're right. He probably knows how to.
And it is the realm. I'm assuming this guy's just looking.
He's gonna
for
turn
chicken
one of
to
those
eat,
chicken
right?
statues
Yeah.
into an actual chicken, kill it, cook it, be happy.
Exactly. Yeah, he just looks cool. Like, or you know what he's gonna do? It's like if this doesn't work out,
Yo,
he's
I'll
gonna
be right
go
back.
play
I'm gonna put some food in
hockey.
chat.
Like, all right, I'll meet you guys on the rink. And
He's
that's okay.
got a nice contingency
Yeah,
plan. Just like,
exactly.
you know what? Maybe this mercenary thing, this hero for hire, doesn't work out. I'll just go play hockey.
Right. I got the mask already.
Every single mercenary's backup plan is to be able to go through. But that's going to be the warrior. So you've seen the hunter, you've seen the assassin, you've seen now the warrior. Next up on the list is the mage, and this is cyber security mage coming through. And cyber security very important in this day and age. So maybe this mage can help you kind of keep your info protected.
Yeah, she is already hacked into your system.
pretty cool.
She's already got your social security. She's ready to go.
I like the
help
way
you
He
he's-
will
out.
defend it.
And she will defend it.
I'm going to take all
Kind of
this
reminds me a little bit of like
and then we're
Metroid
gonna
Prime
work
sort of.
together
Yes.
to make sure
All right, I'll be
that
1 second,
bad
chat.
happens with it. aren't we?
Don't make her mad.
Some people call that extortion.
Well, not this mage.
Not this mage.
I just really got to think now. We've seen so many visors in this pack. I really I didn't think about what do they see in the visor, because we'll never know, but there's got to be something.
And that
There's
assassin,
a
there was
targeting
no
reticle on the
mistake.
assassins,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had to put some food in. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
You used to play the games, you'd zoom in all the way and put a dot in your screen, so you
Yep.
knew exactly. That's what he's doing.
That's what they're doing.
Well, I think maybe he plays under that concept of like he has one line that says kill or do not kill, and they switch between
That's all,
highlights,
yeah.
and then there's a crosshair, and that's all he sees.
A true binary.
Oh man.
And that's how he lives his life. There's the cybersecurity mage, and well, as you would have guessed it, there is a mount that's going to come later. The first and the last chicken on the list is now the special box chicken. The thing that makes me happy about this is that this is an army of chickens. Like, this is the B squad, or maybe the A squad that gets sent in when things go wrong.
Oh, this is the A squad.
The
with
glasses.
Rambock, Sneak Beak, and now your special box comes in.
Oh, the
to keep
sunglasses go
everyone
up.
safe.
I want to know what happened to the shirt. Was it
Flexed
just
it off?
I guess so. When you're in the heat of battle, you don't need clothes wearing you down. So
He
it's
lost
Well,
like,
he
his
figured
knife,
the
but I
last
don't
chicken
know.
had so much from head to toe. He was like, I
Right.
got to balance it out.
right. Just looking good though. He's battle ready. He's got the helmet. He's got his glasses. You know, the sun.
Oh, this
You got
is.
to protect your eyes on the battlefield. You know.
Okay.
You know, I
And
can't
that voice
believe
again.
this has taken me this long, but I can't imagine that the chicken wings that you would get from something a chicken that looked like this would taste very delicious. Granted, it'd be a lot of effort to get those chicken wings off
Yes.
of the chicken.
It'd be a real battle.
What the mercenaries here for?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
one-man army.
Yeah. These are just great skins. Again, these chicken skins are going to be so much fun.
Does he have a
getting
cod
that
around his
nose.
hat? Honestly, I don't know.
You're just going to see it running over
Is
the
that a
hill,
reference to
this
something?
Commando, just running
The
over
Ace of
the
Spades?
glasses, looking at the battlefield.
That's
I
gonna be
almost
funny.
want to get chicken just to run around like that. I don't even like. I don't want to respawn. I don't want to come back. Like I love my new skins, but I want to just come through and run at people as a chicken. I think it might be more intimidating. Unfortunately,
You approach a house and you hear, oh. You're like, I don't know. Do I want it?
do I jump through this window or do I leave this one alone?
The chicken might kill me.
Either way, the one unfortunate thing I guess about the chickens is you can't ride the mount on them. So if you do become a chicken, you're just going to be running the good old-fashioned way.
Right.
But this will come through. I believe the final reward.
Here we go,
for
chat.
this battle
Tier
pass.
50.
You might have noticed it earlier when we looked at the key art for it, but it is a
Haven't
really
seen it
cool one,
in-game
a
yet.
Robo Arachnid mount that is going to be coming through. And well, you take
that.
two things. On one side, it's a robot. On the other side, it's an arachnid. This is a mechanized spider.
This is like nothing.
That's the
that
future I want to live
exists.
in. Robot
Really?
spiders. Yeah, that's all. I'd ride that. I mean, yeah, that's
My
a
wife hates
great.
spiders. I don't.
We could turn it into a non-robot spider for you.
No, that's like the opposite.
I know. Look how cool.
That's cool. Okay. He's not dizzy.
Oh no!
Oh, he is dizzy.
A little dizzy.
He doubles as an amusement
Oh,
ride.
And the
Oh,
sounds,
did he
everything.
just throw up
This mount
in his
is
helmet?
really high quality. I mean, it's awesome. So you're going to see that coming in, and it's a good size too, but it's still not. I think you can sneak around with it. You're getting that last kill, and you want to come in on the robot spider.
What are the walking sounds like?
Oh, that's
Cool.
perfect.
It's like a mechanical
nice
keyboard.
Foley
Yeah.
clicking.
I mean, almost exactly like when I look at that mount, that's what that should
Yeah.
sound like. So that's how you know the sound design team
Yes.
knocked it out of the park when it's just like nothing seems off about it.
Exactly.
That is spider to the robot.
pretty cool.
It's awesome. Josh is gonna be hiding in
It's
a house. And
unique.
you can hear that little clicking coming up.
It's not as noisy as the mic.
Sweating.
On
Yeah.
one side of you, you're gonna hear, and then on the other side, you're gonna hear these spider clicks, and you're just gonna be like, I don't know.
Maybe like a little bit more competitively viable than the motorcycle, since it doesn't like deafen you as you drive around on it.
We found her last time. We put these really nice mounts right at the end, so it's like something to work for, but it's worth it 100%.
No, they're just doing skins currently, Nightwolf.
Everything about this spider is awesome. I like the standing aspect as well. It's very difficult to, I would imagine, to sit on a spider, especially if it's mechanized in any way. So being able to kind of have the standing mount, bonuses again with his little spin that can kind of maybe leave you dizzy, but it's fun either way around. And I mean that's the entirety of it from top to bottom.
Atomic
You get
Nut,
the
yeah, there
Technician
should be.
Hunter. When you get the premium track, the Robo Arachnid mount is your final reward as you level that one up. So look out for the Bach Ops Battle Pass with this one. You won't want to miss out on that one. And with that, we can kind of get into maybe some other big changes that are going to be coming into this. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited to hear this one, Alex, as we're adding back, I guess, in one way, or just adding, for this case,
Sure.
a third ability slot.
Yeah, we kind of have been listening to the community for a while, and it's also something that we just feel is going to add that kind of interesting
it, chat.
interplay that the game has needed
This is
for a
what we
bit.
want.
It gives players a lot of options, and you can see here on the screen now. If you look down there at the bottom right, you have another slot. And
we
what
need
we've
to see
added
chat.
is an offensive and a support
put some
ability.
Pog
So you
Champion.
still have your movement, but we've taken your basic abilities that you had before and split them up. So every class has 2 support and 1 offensive ability. And if you highlight over, I'm like, it's happening right now, it will tell you where it's going to be slotted. So you can see the movement. The soar is going to go in the movement ability on the far right. There you go, perfect. And then we have the support ability, and it even tells you epic support, so you know. And then the last one
Just gonna pause the LUTs, guys.
Epic offense.
Thanks for the follows, though.
And that will slot into your last slot. So now we're just giving players more options. They can do more interesting builds, and they can kind of tailor their game style a little bit more. And that's really what everyone wants, right? They want more opportunities to make cool plays.
You'll be able to play it your way, while still having like the same amount of mobility, being able to kind of maneuver around. So fights will maybe become a little more intricate. You have to pay attention to your cooldowns on top of what am I bringing to this, what level am I bringing to this as well.
And it's fully customizable, right? If you don't like it to be 4 or 3, you can change it to other keys, right? Of course, with everything else. So it's going to be one of those things, and it works just as well on gamepad. We tested that. And with the changes to the
It's a goblin outside, just making so much noise.
Added a new forge ability slot. So if you take a look at the forge here, you'll see neutral offhand ability, class offhand ability. So now what we're doing is we're allowing players to not
get rid of the word
forge
offhand. It's so
your
confusing.
movement and your ability. You can now forge neutral abilities. So we had a lot of
I
discussion.
guess, although
with
I
the
guess a
team
class
internally. We
ability
looked at
could
the
be
forums and
considered
talked
also
to
a movement ability.
people who play the game a lot, and
It's like offhand
there
ability,
was-
movement
it
ability.
was kind of contentious, but we eventually went with this forge neutral ability because there's a lot of interesting things that the players can do with getting barricades, with getting turrets, with getting.
I don't know. I don't think the word
firebombs.
offhand
So
needs
we
to be in
thought
there
we would try
personally,
this,
but
being able to forge a neutral ability, and we'll see how it
movement
goes, and
ability
we
has
can
its own
mix and
specific
match in the
slot.
next
So you
patch,
obviously,
but
if you
for
want a
now,
movement
I think
ability,
this ended up being the best test that we had on PTS, and so we went with it. So yeah, now players are going to have even more options to forge something. Oh, there you go, shielding potion. Now, typically players might not be too happy about getting a shielding potion, but I've gone through, and we'll get to that, but there's been quite a few buffs to our abilities to kind of offset now that you're getting those more often.
You're going to be able to kind of come through, and I think this is great because, again, like you said, you can kind of choose, go into the forge, I need something for me.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
maybe I'm going to branch out a little bit, play around. Maybe some of the more veteran players out there who are used to kind of the wide array of abilities, even with some of the balance changes that are going to be coming with them, will be able to go forward with it. So you'll get pretty much everything from top to bottom that you want. Also, more of a reason to go to the forge
Yep.
and kind of find anything and everything that you might want to kind of, again, play your way with this new style and with this extra ability. But third ability slot coming in, we'll be able to kind of go through the balance for those abilities later. Another big change for this update is going to be kind of coming in and reworking the Fungal Jungle just to make it feel better.
Yeah, so we worked with one of our environment artists, his name is Rick, and we kind of looked at all the parts of the map, and we found what are the areas that players really like to play, but it feels a little underwhelming, and so we kind of isolated Fungal Jungle. So it's actually a pretty extensive rework. It's taller, it has bridges, and it's just overall, it fits what you think of a fungal jungle. Now when you see it, it really feels like that. It's not just a couple mushrooms, and we'll see here in a little bit, but it's pretty impressive. So players are going to have a reason to kind of get in there and, mix it up with the mushrooms as you would, Oh, and here it is, crossing the hill, and you say,
wow.
Yeah, it's
this is my
going into
probably
an
my
alien
favorite
city
rework
where
out
It
of
screams Fungal Jungle
everything they've done.
from way far outside of
exactly.
the city.
So now you can see it. So what we
Are
have
you
now
kidding?
is
The K? This looks
our
incredible,
camera pro
man.
is heading towards the forge, and that's kind of your main, right, your point of interest. And you get in here, and it's just going to be,
The giant mushroom.
it is inside the
That's
giant
fantastic.
mushroom. So you kind of have these nice, you get this cool play space where players have a lot of, it's a little more vertical than some of our older map or areas of the map, but I think overall players really enjoy that. Our players are pretty
Hunters
good now
will
at the
get wrecked
vertical
in here,
game.
though, it's true.
They kind of understand what's going on, and so you get this really cool. People felt like in the realm that they needed to build houses and mushrooms, and they did it. And, you really can't get angry about that kind of ingenuity and engineering. So, yeah, this whole area is great because it's tall, and eventually you'll see that there's just tons of bridges connecting the entire
There's a lot of
area.
places you can hide,
And
though,
it's
so
gonna be snipers and people with long-range weapons are gonna have a good time. That's all I'm gonna say.
And not only that, I mean, looking at the forge, like being able to kind of come in from up above, you see some chests there,
Yep.
but you have to kind of be worried when you're in there. There's a guy that could come from your level, from behind on a bridge, but also someone could be down below, someone could be coming down from up above. So no matter what, you're going to have to be worrying pretty much everywhere.
Right.
I don't know Nova. They haven't mentioned it yet.
It's a different kind of city to traverse, and
Yes.
you know the fungal part, should be pretty obvious here. It's the mushrooms, but
It is.
I think the bridges here. Really
Hunter's having grappling hook would help a lot. Like replace
Portion of
dodge
the
roll with like a grapple hook would be pretty cool. But
Exactly, and that's kind of what we wanted to go for.
it's something that's been data mined and talked about a lot, but I don't know whether it actually
At the
happened.
same time, you on the ground have plenty of places to go hide and sneak into, so it's not just like the sniper's paradise. You have enough counterplay. It's balanced in a way that's actually going to be interesting for players, and I think people are really going to love it because, it's one of the main parts on the map that people land, and now you're going to see this, like really when you're far away, you can see it from so much further, so it draws your eye, and it's just a much more exciting place to play.
And I think it's perfect that we have the Mage kind of showcased right
Yep.
here, because I can think of so much you can do on this map with Soar, like
Yep.
just in this area.
Yep,
So
and
I
we've
think-
left the mushrooms. You can get on top of them.
Yeah, and so I think pretty much anybody, if you get in the right position with the right,
I don't think you can go
amount
on
of
top of that
movement,
one, can you?
Here
you'll
he
be
goes.
able to get around and maybe kind of showcase what is going to be strong for you. Tries to go up.
I don't
I
think
don't
you
know
can
how
land
many
on top
people
of this
are
one.
gonna have enough
Oh, you
cooldown
can?
to do that, but you can get up here.
Oh, they
Wow,
changed it.
That's a gorgeous view.
And so, right, and you get a good view, but the thing is like, it
Wow.
seems like, oh, I've got the best spot, but after testing up there,
can't
like,
see anybody.
you really can't see anyone. It's actually not that overpowered of a spot, so you can get up there just for fun if you want to blow your cooldowns and, get up there, but you're not going to have the most obvious, like, overpowered spot. It's actually just cool to look at.
It's cool to look at, but I think it's like that implication right there, where it's just I can drop down and can maybe soar over.
Having the
bridge
final
that I
circle
wasn't
there
at
would be
before. Things
pretty cool.
like that, where any final circles that are falling on this place,
Yes.
in that final zone, it's
Definitely
going to
cool
be
movement.
very, very intimidating for a lot of players.
I don't know if it's in our notes exactly, but the idea about going over the forge where the circle converges, that's in here? Okay, we can go over that when we get to that, but there's some other things that are tangential to these POIs in
Yeah.
the new area that kind of touch that, so we can go over that. But cool, yeah, the new Fungal Jungle, we did a good amount of work on it. It took a while, and it's an exciting new area, and I'm really happy how it turned out, and I want to see what players think when it gets out there live.
1v1
fantastic
Final
from
Destination
this
Fungal? Yeah, dude.
Right.
I
I'm
want-
excited to be able to get in there and
Drop
jump around
fungal,
from mushroom to
chat.
mushroom.
Drop
Or at least
fungal.
try to see what happens to me. 'cause
Custom
I know
game,
I'm gonna
everybody
use the
drops
cooldown,
fungal.
Go to the top of one and then get sniped or something. It's just gonna not work out. But now, Jake, we had kind of mentioned earlier with
And you can only play
Crossplay
Hunter.
coming in. We have the lobbies, being separated if you would like to. But there's also some different support that is going to be coming in. One of that is going to be gyro support for those players that have that on their
right.
controllers.
Yeah,
Hey, there
I
you go,
say, but,
Switch.
like it's here. Like we,
It works.
We are putting it in because people definitely wanted that support, and people have been asking for the ability to have better control over their character in with their controller. So, and we felt like this was the ideal time
Now
to
you
put
can
it in.
be like,
I've seen in various games what players can do once that's added. And
that's me
honestly,
gyroing.
you might think, oh, that's not going to be that effective. PS4 players and Switch players are going to be insane with this. Like, there are moments where they're going to either flick move or they're going to be able to kind of find a really good snipe or a really good
You just
shot.
gyroed.
Yeah.
Might not seem possible, but it's because of this gyro support that will actually enable them a little bit more. So be careful in your lobbies out there
Yes.
once this goes through. And along with that, there's also going to be a custom lobby player requirement kind of change. We're reducing the number required.
That's right. More people wanted to be able to start their own custom lobbies and like bring in more people into the game, but like there are some people that didn't have quite the like they weren't able to organize quite as many people as that was required before. So we felt like it was a good idea to bring down that requirement to try
Hey.
to get more games going.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we don't need it to be like too restrictive.
So
There you go,
yeah,
chat.
it's reduced from 24 to 12. So if
Yeah.
you have 12 players, you'll be able to host a custom game now.
Should be much
So
easier.
being able to run through, you're playing with your viewers. Maybe you just have a
Yeah.
lot of friends that want to come through. You just want to get a group
Right.
together and explore the new Fungal Jungle.
What is
I mean,
friend?
12 people would be
We'll tell you later.
Well, we'll
pretty
introduce you to the
small
concept.
game. But
That's going to take longer than we have for the update show.
if you just want to run around.
Oof. I got too deep too fast. Oh well, hey Josh. now we're
Speaking
going
of
to go
goodness,
talk to you.
yeah.
The one thing that is kind of coming with this, so we're going to spend a little bit more time working on the rank rewards, and so that's getting pushed from this update to the next one.
Yes, earlier this year we did release a roadmap. Talked about.
I don't
some
know
of
if
the
we'll be
things
doing
we'd like to
customs with just
accomplish
12
throughout the
players.
year. As it turns out, rank rewards could not fit into the time frame that we allotted ourselves. So we are still working on it. It's still in scope for the 23 update. We are not going to reset ranks so that the progress you have gained you still keep, and it'll still go into effect when we do roll out the rank reward with OB23. But for now, OB22 will not contain the rank reward.
So you're still going to be able to kind of keep your own hard-earned rank going into the next update, and then you'll get all your rewards as well once that comes through. Yes. But as it is, things come
gotta move stuff around.
You're going to be able to.
Can we just say? I just want to say it's all Tomatoes and Sendo's fault. They complained that they weren't going to have enough time to hit masters, so
there's tons in here.
Blame them.
And that's only half of it, honestly. We still have balance to go through and some quality of life changes that are going to come up later. And so, I mean, immediately just jumping into balance, the weapons first up on the list, or I guess I should say weapon. It's really the shotgun, actually, is the only one that I think I have listed here.
Right. After I've touched quite a few of the
I knew it felt different in the PTS. It's faster,
weapons,
right?
And I thought this time let's kind of go over the shotgun because I wanted something for a little bit of counterplay with the sword. I wanted something that felt a little more impactful because our shotgun doesn't always land, no pun intended. So what I wanted to do is kind of make it a little spicier. So one of the first things I did is I've added a knockback to your shots. So that scales with rarity. So as you're shooting someone now, they're going to get a little force knock, right? I want this shotgun to feel powerful, mystical, like we're in a realm. So we've added it. It starts pretty light, and by the time you get to legendary, you're given a good knockback.
Knocking skulls around.
You're knocking skulls
Isn't
around.
that going to make it? You're going to push them further away though, so it does less damage.
Output, but that's also going to be like that's a full shotgun blast. That's not just like I'm hitting you with a couple pellets. Like if you're right in someone's face with a shotgun, you're going to do a lot of damage, and I think that's going to be. It fits in line with the narrative of what you want to feel like when you shoot a shotgun, right? You don't want it to be dinky, as they say. And that's going to be, again, like you're really going to want to land those shots. To help with that, I've increased the accuracy for both ADS and non-ADS.
Wow,
so
dude.
It's going to be a little easier to
Shotgun's
hit your
going to be.
And they're now doing a little more.
Shotgun's going to be good next patch,
feels
chat.
like you're accomplishing a little more.
So those are pretty pure buffs right now, and what I've also done to dial it in a little bit is that it's going to be between each shot. There's a little more time now. So before it was clear succession between each shot. You could really fire them off easily. So now I've increased that time between shots, so it's a little more deliberate. You need to think about your shots, but again, you're a little more accurate. You do more damage. Yeah. And then to go at that, I've also changed the reload time, so it's a little faster to reload at base. That was a pretty slow reload before. It was over 2 seconds. Now we're down to about 1.6 seconds. So you're going to be able to, just reload a little faster, get into action.
I really hope it doesn't become shotgun meta though, chat. I don't know. Like shotgun meta is not a lot of fun. I played Fortnite when everyone was using shotgun all the time, and clip size increase as well. That's pretty big.
Get 5 and they're 1 hit away. Exactly. And either in the time you're swapping weapons, maybe you didn't reload your other weapon, maybe something else is going on. You just had that one more shot, you can maybe close out some more kills. It'll feel a little better using the shotgun all around from top to bottom.
You won't want to insta-shard it like you used to before, where you just take it and let's just turn this into currency. Now you actually might want to play with it.
You'd land and see shotgun.
It was pretty crappy.
It doesn't go with my knife.
Exactly.
Now you actually pick it up and you're going to fight around. It's going to be fun to see, but again, it's all kind of fine-tuning. You bring up a little bit, bring down a little bit, just to kind of keep it in balance with itself. We'll have to see how it plays out, 100%. But that is going to bring us through with the weapons. I mean, that was pretty quick there.
Easy.
The abilities are the next one up on the list, and the very first one is actually the dodge roll.
Right, that's been one that the hunter has. People talk about that a lot. They say this dodge roll lasts it takes so long to fire off. It has, it's not a very powerful movement ability compared to our other movement abilities. Now, not to give too much away, but we are working on some other things for the hunter that aren't in this patch. But for now, I wanted to take a look at the dodge roll. I've reduced the time that it takes to fire off, so you're really going to be using them all the time now, from 15 at the slowest to 8 at the fastest. So you really will be able to dodge roll quite a lot. And the other thing now is that the distance is increased. So when you fire off that dodge roll, you're going a couple more units than you were before. So it just feels more impactful.
You're going to be able to do it. I mean, the mage chasing you down, the warrior chasing you down, maybe you can roll, get a couple shots off, roll again pretty soon thereafter. Use your new shotgun to knock them back and kind of keep the distance between you as much as you might be able to go forword with.
But you want to get close to the shotgun. I'm confused.
Healing shout, though, which is getting a pretty interesting change.
Right, we wanted, this goes along with the support abilities, right? This is one of those support abilities that before players didn't really want to use it.
To clarify, is this healing potion?
Well, we do have a healing shout as well.
Right, that's the warrior ability.
The healing potion is the one that you
explode.
No, the healing shout is different, right?
No, the healing shout is what we looked at, right? So it is going to be, because that is still the warrior support ability.
Cooldown reduced by 10 seconds to 10 seconds.
The healing shout is now the cooldown has been reduced by 10 seconds. So I want players to fire this off a lot.
At all ranks?
It's going to be one of those support abilities that going in line with having the ability to have your support and your offensive ability, those interplays are going to be really interesting.
So it's 10 seconds at all ranks?
If we have players kind of firing these abilities off more, it's going to create more counterplay. It's going to allow players to kind of think of new strategies.
Yeah.
And that's what this is hopefully going to do, right? We
I don't know.
do
That
so much
text
internal
is
testing,
very
but the idea is that
confusing.
players can use it more. And I think it's going to be a cool change.
I mean, I guess I might spoil the next one, but with better movement, better kind of healing, better weapons, a new Fungal Jungle, like everything about this is kind of leaning into counterplay is going to be maybe kind of up at the forefront. Like if you play well, you can get out of, well, try to get out of any fight. Depends on how your opponent's going to be able to react. Because counterplay has counterplay, which also has counterplay. It's a giant,
Keeps going.
giant spiral that you go down. The next one is the heroic leap.
Right.
Some changes for that.
Yeah, again, it's another thing that players, when they get in there
dude.
and they're like,
Shotgun Warrior next patch,
takes
chat?
forever to use. I think I reduced it again, over 10 seconds each. So now we're looking at 28 seconds at the slowest, all the way down to 15 seconds. So you're going to be, again, firing this off more as a warrior. You're going to be sitting there jumping around. And the warrior kind of felt like he needed some love. Even though players use him a lot, some of his abilities felt underwhelming. And with that, I've also, again, increased the range. As we just looked at those places like Fungal Jungle, some of our old POIs that were reworked, like Guntown, like, I wanted it that this warrior
Warrior's
can
coming
jump
back,
and
chat.
get to places a little easier and is a little more mobile, a little more vertical, and that's what this will allow.
It's not going to be
Not
Humble
gonna
Hop
as
anymore.
locked down. So if you go
Exactly.
warrior, you can still maybe chase some people around and see what happens. But you have to be careful because you might jump into the next one on the list, proximity trap.
Yep. So the proximity trap, again, it needed some... We had to move it into support, but before it was doing damage. So where is that when it does damage and it's still a support? So what we did is we've removed the damage from the proximity trap. You're not going to be chunking people for hundreds of points every time and
What does it
throwing
do
out
now,
quite a
then?
lot. What we've done instead now is we've made it so it creates a slow. When it goes off and you're near it, it will slow you for a few seconds, and you're at about 50%. Actually, I might have reduced it to 25% slow. It's a 25% slow, so it's sizable. And then you will now be able to kind of set it up, put it on a wall, someone walks around the corner, and all of a sudden they're slowed. And you'll be able to see that, and it will just help you hunt people down a little easier.
And with that, you're also increasing the deploy time across the rarities just to kind of maybe keep that more in line with
Again, right?
attraction.
And that's
4
right. Because
seconds.
the problem is that when you start affecting
pretty long.
people's movement, it can feel bad. So we just jumped up the rarity, the time to deploy this by about 5 seconds per rarity, just so you're not throwing it out constantly, because you could get someone in a loop where they're slowed for the entirety, especially if you're landing all of those. So we
Wait,
kind of
what?
wanted to avoid that, so I made it. You're going to be
So
using them a little less, but they have.
It doesn't
slow,
activate for
counter
5
a little bit.
seconds?
That I've also changed. So
I can just see it with a good like trap placement and then a really good
Wow.
bait for
So
your
you throw it down, and you can't. It won't even like slow them until 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a really long time. Well, chat. Let's be honest. We're gonna use barricade or healing station anyway. So
where they wander. And maybe they'll be able to kind of keep themselves safe with a shielding shout.
Exactly.
Which is getting a little bit of a change.
getting some changes. So what I did is I decreased the amount that you get when you shield down from 400 to 300, so not significant, but what I've done to kind of counterbalance that is I've made the cooldowns happen a little more. Like, so the cooldowns have been reduced. You're going to be firing off your shielding shout more. It's going in line with that play style. Like, if I pick this thing up, I want to be able to use it a lot. I want it to be meaningful. So the shielding shout is just overall, you're going to be shouting more. I want people to shout in the realm.
You're just constant yelling. Not only do you have the new chickens that are
get
going to
your
be making
chickens
those
ready.
noises, but you are going to be yelling as well. Unfortunately for you, it won't be in the same beautiful, voice acted.
Yeah.
6 seconds with the talent. That's true. We're gonna think about the talents.
Maybe you can mimic him as best you can and be your own
Exactly.
mic. And
That's
then,
pretty
well, the
good.
last one for abilities is that the turret
Right.
is getting some significant changes to make it just, feel better.
Yeah, so
Tom's
a
coming
turret
back,
is one
chat.
of those ones that players are, it's always a little contentious. So the turret's one of those things that I thought we had to touch it a little bit because it really wasn't being used the way that a turret you would want it to be used. So we've increased the range. The projectile speed is coming out a little faster, so those shots are going to connect more. It's also doing more damage. And then it's also that we've got the time between shots has been decreased. So it's going to be firing off more, longer, and it goes a little faster, and the reduction in cooldown. So you're going to be able to put them down faster. It's just all around, I wanted it. It needed a general buff. It just was always being turned into a shard so that players could get it for something else. I want this to be, at least viable.
Yeah, and being able to come through. I mean, I can think of a proximity trap and a turret. You place them in the right area,
Right.
that person is just going to get shredded. Like you might not even have to do any work, but if you have a new shotgun, I mean, everything just lines up there. So a lot of interesting changes that are going to be able to come through. kind of make things feel better. And that's going to do it for all the abilities, but there's still a couple talent changes and some rune changes that we'll get into later. But the talents, we can go ahead and just jump into looking at Exaction.
Yeah, Exaction, we just reduced the damage boost to 15%. So it was a little stronger. It was a 25% before. We just dropped it down so that players are not... Damage amps are always a little dangerous because
that's already really bad.
You can do your dodge roll damage. And then, and it's like, it's insane. For a really good player, they are able to get a huge boost. Just bringing that a little more in line, bringing it down. So it's like, you can definitely still get a damage boost, but we don't need it to be doing a quarter plus health.
Especially when the cooldown is so relatively low now.
Right. With reducing, if I had kept the cooldown where it was, that's a different question. But if we reduce the cooldown and you're firing off this dodge roll all the time.
It's only for one shot, though.
5% damage, that's insane. So 15% damage for that.
So you're still going to hit harder. It's not quite as hard.
Yes.
And, well, again, like you had said, since it comes up often, maybe you're going to have to fire slightly more in your fights now.
Maybe it would have been
going to keep you
I don't know.
more or less in balance. And the other one that's going to be coming through is the Trapper talent.
Yeah, so this one's going to be interesting. So for that proximity trap that we just looked at, the other change that's going to go along with it is that
it's just one shot.
Talent now is going to root players.
Ooh.
So before, what it would do is on the talent it would slow.
Wow.
And since now the slow is going to be at base, if someone gets hit by this, they're going to get rooted for a second. And for those who don't know, a root is you're going to sit there.
Okay,
and can't move.
it's starting to make
No
sense
movement
now.
Abilities, no walking at all.
No
so
walking,
you're just going
right.
If you could root them in place and do 25% extra damage, that would probably be pretty disgusting.
Maybe your offensive
Maybe.
abilities.
You
could still shoot.
So you're not stunned, but you're going to be kind of locked down in place.
Yes.
And then it has a little bit of a reveal on there as well.
And
so
it does have a reveal.
you trap someone the right way, and, well, maybe if you come through, again, set up a turret trap for them, if you can get those together.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, maybe it's going to work out well for you. You can chase them down and keep them under wraps.
It's a trap.
And then the last one, and the last thing for balance as it comes down, since we only had a couple of changes there for talents, is in the runes.
Right.
And it's just some small things.
Small things. We needed to move the offensive and support ability runes kind of more in line with that. So it's not just we don't have the general ability cooldown rune anymore. We've moved those to both an offensive cooldown rune and a support ability rune, which makes sense to go with the new ability options.
Is there still a movement
And then other
cooldown
than that,
rune?
we've reduced the chicken health from 1,000 to 800. Players were saying it's a little strong because you could get 1,000
Yes,
health
it is.
for getting this rune. And now you're a little tank chicken, which is fun, but maybe a little less tanky.
See, it'd be interesting.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it makes sense with the chickens that we revealed today for them to maybe be that tanky. But for feel-wise, we don't want them to
800
be
is
that
still a
much.
lot. We'll give them that. 800 is still a lot. So.
And then you can still accomplish a lot as a chicken with just 800
Oh, yeah.
health being able to come through. But now we can actually look at... I actually played just too fast because I was reading ahead. You can go to quality of life. And so, Jake, do you just want to kind of go through the...
I wonder if you still throw the mine right at them
I
and
think
it
we
instantly
put a lot of work
deploys.
into
Maybe it
this.
does.
This first one was a real big pet peeve of mine, where when you switch keybinds in the menu in a game, it wouldn't actually reflect that on the HUD. So the abilities wouldn't actually show the correct keys that you were using. So with this, I managed to find some time to just have it actually show that change.
Awesome. It says quality of life, and that's exactly what it is, but that's, like, important. That's a very big one.
Yeah, and the second one is pretty simple, where the sniper was showing the crosshairs still when we wanted to remove that to make sure that it's just the sniper scope. Then adding the option for controllers to have a direct map ping button in their control binds.
Yeah.
It's not on there by
that's pretty
default,
good.
but players have the option to go in and bind it themselves.
So you can map it, start pinging your map, no matter what input you're using.
Not map.
Exactly.
Oh, so not the ping on the ground.
Then this is a pretty big one next. So we came up with the idea, Alex and I, to make it so that the forges are now a central point for a lot of the matches, where
That's pretty cool.
A majority of the matches will now have their finishing circle finish on a forge.
Dude, forge fights are
to
always
make it so
fun
that,
for the
players are
end
drawn
game. You
more
remember that
toward,
Guntown game?
Our more interesting parts of the map. So there are still going to be games that will end up in fields, randomly out in the distance somewhere.
Yeah.
But we want to hope that we can get players to actually interact with some of the cool places that we've been putting, like the Fungal Jungle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I can already see, again...
It says majority, so
Trapper,
not
I'm running
always,
turrets,
I guess?
I'm slowing people down. I see that this is centered on a forge. I'm going all in. This is my zone to control. If you get some good control there, you could potentially, just win your game right off the bat as it closes in. But there is still, a few, and when we look at bug fixes and under investigation, but for quality of life, players can now mute through the in-game map.
Yeah, I feel like that was really important for that to actually make sense to players how it works, and make sure that when you
this is good for Rail. Rail's always
how you
complaining that
expect
he's being paired up with
So
kids
being
who
able to
are
come
singing.
through. I don't know what they're doing, but if they deserve to be muted, then go for it.
It happens
You're now
online.
going to be able
Well,
to do it.
some
Trust me,
fun guys.
I play
There you
enough
go,
games
Rail.
that I understand it. You're going to be able to come through. And then we also have some bug fixes coming here. So one is that you
Goddamn
address an
kids.
issue with Spectator.
Yeah, when you were killed and your final team member was killed, it was not sending you to the correct person to spectate, and I made sure that like it didn't skip over the person that you were actually
It's a good bug fix.
So issues with like spectating the person who didn't kill you should
That was kind of annoying. I mean, it wasn't
Community
a huge
tournament
deal,
runners.
but
Screaming very happily right
Yes.
now as well. And then there was also an issue where some people who were using Ice Block were taking some damage, and we've removed that away from Skull of Chaos.
Yeah. I don't know how that got on there, but like Skull of Chaos was just really powerful for a second, and we decided, no, I think the Ice Block should block everything.
It's a little too chaotic.
Yeah.
It's well, I mean, I guess it fit for both of them. It kind of fit in with their name, no matter which way you look at it. Skull of
That's right.
Chaos was being too chaotic, and now Ice Block is fully blocking what
Exactly.
it should. And with that, we also have the Gatekeeper's walking speed. That's no longer going to get stuck if the player swaps their weapon.
Yeah, like so if a player was
Okay.
switching between your weapons, or if a player equipped a new weapon while they were still charging the Gatekeeper, you would get stuck in that slow, like plodding walking speed that
Yeah.
the Gatekeeper has. So I made sure to like remove that and like found where that was coming from.
And then the last one, and this one is probably going to maybe affect some people, not affect some people, depends on how much it's been going, but abilities can no longer be dropped from their inventory while they are active.
Well, I don't think it'll affect people
Okay.
as much as you would think, because
can't
like
do the
ability, it
proximity
would be, like,
mine
hidden
glitch
and
thing then.
soar.
Yeah.
The abilities that stay active in your inventory while they're being used, where like we don't want people to be able to drop them in the middle of it and like pick up a new ability or something like that, and have like multiple abilities be.
oh,
like,
you can't
fired
do
off
the
with them.
smoke screen
Right, 'cause
strats
that
anymore,
would
chat.
benefit a really tactical, a really good player who practices that right could do some broken things, and so
Yeah,
we
you
wanted
could,
to
like,
prevent that.
Chain movement abilities. Like, I drop this one right here, and
Space
I
it
know
out
it's going to be
perfectly,
halfway through
yeah.
my soar, so I can,
Exactly.
like, soar into a heroically. Like,
I mean,
it'd be
I-
Players
I-
will do things
very,
like that.
very
I gotta
interesting.
say,
Someone,
you know,
like,
Yes.
the fact that this was found means someone was able to maybe pull something off with it. But
Right.
it's not going to be your everyday game kind of movement.
Right.
But there's also a couple things that are still under investigation.
Right. So Switch crashes are under investigation, and the PS4 lag situation is under investigation. I'm going to be trying really hard to figure out what's actually going on there.
Yeah. So
I hope they
we
can
have our
fix
eyes
that.
on those.
I really
We're gonna,
do.
like, hear more news about that as we go forward, but we know that we're aware that they're happening. Now it's just tracking down the hard part, which is why are they happening? And trust me, with code, that stuff gets convoluted really, really fast. But I mean, that's going to be able to kind of do it. That is the Bach Ops update that is going to be coming through. So Josh, when can they expect to see, a full updates?
Update notes will be out this week.
This week?
I'll leave it there.
You'll leave it
I don't
there.
want
Josh-
to
With a, with a
Josh.
little star on the
Yeah.
end that says, maybe not.
No, this week. This week. I can confidently
The star
say that.
says this week for sure, though.
Yes.
Either way, it's
By
going to be coming
Friday?
through
By Friday.
Friday. So this week, you'll be able to kind of look through these update notes that we just went through with you. Of course, you can always watch this one back and try to figure out what exactly you're excited for. I think, I'm going to say it, it's either the chickens or the Fungal Jungle. I'm not sure. Either way, that's
What
going to
about
do
the
it
three
for the
abilities?
Bach Ops update show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name's been Gormizer. With me, Alex, Jake, and Josh. We'll see you next time.
They said so update notes are coming out this week, he said. So the patch notes will be available this week. He didn't tell us when the patch is going to be, though. But I'm guessing next week would be the patch. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it'd be a patch next week. Well, what do you think, chat? What do you guys think? What's the thoughts?